All right, welcome in. This is Dogs on Skates. I'm J-Dawg. That's Andy, and it's been a long week.
Oh, jeez.
It was a interesting day on trade deadline yesterday. It was quite a game last night. Lots to talk about. We got some reaction from the Canucks players and coaching staff, management as well. So it's gonna be a full one. But what are your thoughts, Andy? How are you feeling this morning?
Well, I'm feeling a little bit better this morning than I was most of yesterday. And I think it's just that feeling of defeat and apathy that sets in when the team doesn't do what I hope that they do. Um, we'll certainly get into well, we do have a draft day recap show that we get into the individual trades for the teams and kind
Trade
of outline their
deadline
scores.
recap show,
What did I say?
draft day.
Draft day. See, I'm just so excited about the draft day segment. I look forward to it every week, and I guess it's just on my mind. Yes, it wasn't draft day in the NHL; it was trade deadline day. Um, yeah. Quick comment: Dogs on Skates are bad at predicting Canucks trades. We actually didn't cover this in
Oh
the
man.
trade deadline show, but we stunk.
I mean, I think I think we were onto something. I think Cousins and Norris both need to be moved, and apparently the Canucks went a long way down the road of getting Josh Norris, and the Ottawa Senators just chose the Buffalo package, which I mean makes sense. It was a big return
Yeah.
coming back, but they just didn't need us to move their players, I guess. So
Yeah. I mean, the one thing that I thought for sure was going to happen because I didn't see how it couldn't was Brock Besser.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so little like recap. If you want the full recap, we do have the recap show that Andy was just talking about. But Brock Besser stays. Pia Suter stays. Derek Forbert stays. The only upcoming UFA to get moved at the deadline is Carson Soucy to the Rangers for a third round pick, which is the San Jose Sharks third round picks. So it'll be very close to a late second, which is tidy business for Soucy. He didn't really have a spot anymore with the new young guys coming into the lineup, but we were definitely hoping for more, especially it. The team hasn't been fantastic, and the idea of losing Brock and not making the playoffs for nothing is a pretty devastating thought. So I think that's what's got a lot of Vancouver fans up in arms last night and today. But they did play a decent hockey game last night, and I think that helped ease some of the pain a little bit. So yeah,
Yeah. I think we actually have a quote from Patrick Alvin on the offers he received for Brock Besser at the deadline. Let's
we
have a
do.
listen.
Still on Brock, it sounds like from what we had seen previously, it seemed like potentially there were some lesser players that maybe were able to get moved for a first-round pick. You talk about players that have done well in the playoffs, and Brock has been a playoff performer. Was there really no interest in him in that range, like a potential first-round pick and those kinds of
If I told you what I was offered for Brock Besser, I think I would have to run out of here because you would not believe me.
really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't really know what that means. Like,
I don't either, and sometimes I wonder if it's like I think it's obvious English is probably not his first language,
correct.
and I wonder if sometimes a little bit gets lost in his translation on for his delivery there. But I think the implication is that other teams did not see the value in Besser that they saw in these other players. Is that
Yeah.
your
Yeah, that's kind of what I've gathered as well. I think it can be used as a little bit of a scapegoat a little bit when you don't need to be exact. You can just kind of be vague and use that to kind of be like, trust me, if it was, if I told you what they were, you guys would hate them.
yeah
Okay.
You would understand. I nailed this.
Yeah.
You guys don't see it, but I
exactly.
crushed this.
Exactly. And I think that got a lot of Canucks fans. It drew their distaste and their ire towards management for, I'd say, a management group that's been pretty decent since they've come in. So anyway, yeah, that was an interesting press conference. Now, there were some interesting things that came out of it. There was a lot of talk on social media platforms about that's not okay for him to say, and that Brock Besser's camp is going to be very peed off because that's really, taking his values, saying that teams aren't interested. Now, just like Andy's reaction I'm taking, I would fight it back against that. The teams that are interested in Brock very much know what the price was because they would have been interested in getting him. Everyone there, anyone who has any interest in him at all, either now or in the offseason, already knows what the price was and already has their opinions. This isn't like, oh, no way. What? There was no interest. Okay, I guess he's not that good of a player. Like, no, they're NHL general managers. They have a full scouting staff. They know what their thoughts are on this player. This is not some shock to them. So I think that was a little bit of classic Vancouver social media. But I, like you said, I don't think that was maybe the best choice of words, but because it's his second language, maybe that plays a part in it as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I do think that the intended message was that Brock Besser had more value to that team for the possibility of a playoff run and just keeping him in the locker room. There are still young guys that Brock's a good a good pro, a good leader, a good teammate. He loves the city. There's value in that. And if all you were going to get out of trading Brock Besser is a third round pick or a late second, then I understand. I understand the decision to keep him. Because you're right, other teams know what Brock Besser is, and they know what they're willing to pay to get a player like that. We've pointed out Besser's flaws. He's not fast. He doesn't drive play, right? He needs a good fit with line mates to really click. And we talked about a potential fit with Toronto, perhaps, with playing on the wing with Marner and Matthews. Like, he would score goals by the bucket load, I'm sure. But he needs the right fit. And if the match wasn't there with a trading partner, I understand it. So I think that was maybe the message he was trying to get out there, was that we actually value Besser higher than everybody else in the league right now. And I think it was just lost in the translation there.
Yeah, I would agree. And something I was thinking about as well is, so I think the thing that had a lot of people really confused was that this has been a very much a seller's market. So we're seeing like guys like Luke Shen going for like a second and a fourth or whatever it was. And former Canuck, was it Beauvillier went for a second round pick. And it's like, my goodness, these players that we like pretty much paid to get rid of are now bringing in picks, and pretty high ones. So I think that had a lot of people being like, well, we've got Brock Besser, we've got Pia Suter. Like, these are actually good assets on cup running teams. Why can't we get at least a first? Like, why aren't we able to do this? And I wonder, like Suter, I wonder if there maybe think they can get that done. I'm not sure what the thinking is there, but for Brock, I wonder if there just wasn't as much of a market because of his position. We saw Mikko Rantanen go, he's a right winger. We didn't really see, from my recollection, a lot of other good right wingers go. There was some like Justin Brazeau, or some tertiary guys that kind of slot in and just fill little holes in teams. But I'm looking through right now. I'm Nikita Gerbankin. Like, there's not, almost all our centers and defensemen.
Center.
It's so many centers. I'm not really seeing any right wings really at all. At all.
Yeah.
So I wonder if there was just no market for right wingers. Like, Mikko Rantanen was.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think they probably could have moved Suter if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Probably could have gotten a second for him, but then you've already moved JT Miller. You're worried about what Pettersson's going to bring. If you move Pius Suter, who's centering your team at that
Exactly.
point, right?
And that's where they said, I don't like, I can, like, we can take the picks or whatever and flip them, but they were talking about like the cost was so high that they were going to have to give up prospects with that pick in order to get the kind of pieces that they were wanting, and they didn't want rental players, which I think is smart.
And is a minor upgrade on your third line center worth giving up one of your prospects or additional picks for a team that realistically does not have Stanley Cup aspirations? I mean, we even hear it. The goal isn't to win a cup. We don't hear that as the goal. We hear
Right.
We want to make the playoffs. We want to be a playoff team. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. But seriously, I've looked through. Justin Brazeau is the only other right wing NHL forward that got traded at the deadline. That's Riley Smith as well, and Nick Obey-Kubel. Like, these are not, like, Riley Smith and Obey-Kubel and Brazeau are third line guys. They're just kind of slot in around the edges. That's not the Brock Besser type, and teams weren't willing to pay other than for Rantanen, which makes sense because that also came with the deal. So,
and I think one other thought I just had was, one of the things that I've liked about some of the roster construction decisions that Canucks management has been making is that it seems like they like having extra centers on the roster when it's full, that are playing on the wing, right? And I think that gives you that extra depth in case of injury or taking a face off on the guy's, weak side. So I could see that teams gearing up for playoff runs. If we can bring in a winger, okay, but if we can bring in a guy who can play center in a pinch in case one of our guys gets injured, and just put him on the wing, that's a better option.
Mm-hmm. Totally. We had Brock Besser talk last night after the game. He was asked about the deadline, what that was like for him, the team, and kind of his future, the team's future, that sort of thing. So we'll give that a listen.
A little bit of a longer one.
Yeah, it means a lot. These are some of my best friends on this team. We have such a good team, so many great guys here, and we're right in the hunt for a playoff spot. So I think that's our main focus right now. And obviously it's kind of tough to focus on that with all that noise. But now I'm just so happy that it's over with, and I can really just focus on helping our team win games and being better for our team.
What have the last 24 hours been like? Because I'm sure you heard your name a lot, talking to your agent a lot. What was it like to go through that?
Yeah, it's just your head's a blender. Like, you hear so many things, you don't know what's true, what's not true. So, I really tried to not talk to him unless, something was really important. So, just let him deal with that and deal with, the Canucks and whatever. So, it was it's a long week, and I'm just happy that it's over with.
Still think there's a possibility you can work out a contract even after the deadline?
I haven't even thought that far yet. I'm just taking this time to regroup and relax and really just focus on playing good hockey. Like I told you guys the other night, I feel I have better and I feel I can produce better and score some more goals for our team. And, like I said, we're playing so many important hockey games right now, and our main goal is to make the playoffs.
It feels like there was a lot of relief tonight, not just with the 2 points, but Pettersson breaks his scoring drought, Kiefer gets a goal.
Yeah.
Does it feel like there's a bit of that sense of relief for you guys?
Obviously they were taking it to us in the third. I think we got to understand that, and we got to be better. I think we just in those situations we need to calm down and realize we can make a push back. We just need a line to step up and make that push. And they I think they were in the offensive zone for a bit there right before Kiefer's goal. So it was a big goal, and like you said, obviously to see PD shoot and take a one-timer, that just shows he's getting his confidence back. So it's a great game for him to build on.
Couple of wins at home and the building rocking again tonight. What does that do for you guys as you try to generate momentum here with a good stretch of home games here over the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, it's really important. Obviously we weren't great at the start of the year playing at home, and we need to build off these couple wins, and the fans have been great. So I think we Need to have a good day tomorrow and understand who we got on Sunday.
So yeah, Brock obviously showing that it did affect him. It has been affecting him. He is very much a feeler. He is a very soft person, very genuinely nice person. And I think this was affecting him, and he said it. Coaches have said it. So it'll be interesting now to see how the rest of the season goes. I mean, every goal he scores is going to put money in his pocket directly. So he's going to be highly motivated to perform well. I did just put in another link for you, Andy, in the doc for Sherwood, just if we're able to play like the last 30 seconds of that. But yeah, it's a situation where I'm really happy in a way that Brock is staying. I think that he really gels well with the players. I think as you hear from Sherwood here, it seems like they're quite happy that the guys stayed. I'm excited I'm hopeful that they can figure something out that is at least semi-team friendly, or that he can get going and they can get some experience in the playoffs at least, if nothing else. But yeah, no, it's an interesting situation. There's not often that teams are in this spot. So anyway,
he did not sound remotely optimistic about the deal getting done.
Fair, yeah.
That's just me reading the tone and the body language there. That did not just inspire optimism, which makes me think that the comment that I heard coming out of the Canucks camp that was, I'm gonna say leaked, but the story that's planted that, we're gonna try to re-sign him. That's the plan. I think that's damage control for not trading him.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's necessary if really you just came out and you said, we value this player so much that we would rather have 2 more months of Brock Besser than, a draft
round
pick
or something.
Yeah. Okay, where in this Kiefer Sherwood video do you want?
Just like the last 30 seconds ish, something like that.
Along that they're our backbone and their strength in our back pocket, so we just got to give them a reason to fuel our game and give them a reason to cheer.
On trade deadline day, a lot of fans sometimes want to see a big splash, but for you, when it's been a season like this, some drama, some injuries, some absences, some illness, when you get in the room, you see all the same guys that you got here with. Is there a sense of pride of fighting with the same group to try to get in the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're, it's a tight-knit group. Like we're excited that obviously the guys stayed, and it's probably also, we take it as a message that they believe in us. So we got to continue to stick together and pull the rope in the same direction, and going to be a fun second half together.
Congrats on a big win.
Thank you.
So that just kind of gave me good feelings as a Canucks fan. Hearing, for one, I'm really happy that the guys stayed. Shows the impact that they are in the room. PD talks about how he feels like the room is in a great spot right now. The vibes completely seem to have changed compared to back in like December. This is a team that is very similar to last year in their vibes. Not as much talent, not as much winning as we were seeing last year, but the feeling in the locker room, the identity feels like that's starting to come back. And when you hear the players, there's a lot more happiness. We're seeing 8-minute post-game interviews from Rick Tocchet where he's like elaborating with media again. He's not just short answer and out of here.
He actually joked that he wanted to trade one of the media members for a second round pick. So you'd probably have to retain salary to do it.
It was very good. I'm enjoying seeing the good vibes around the team.
Yes.
The other thing Sherwood said is it shows they believe in us. I think that's the perfect mentality to have. Again, we'll see where this goes. But that was a good feel good interview. And I loved what he said. I loved where his head's at. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Sherwood's feel good in general.
It's true. That's very
Another
true.
Scrap for him. Not much of a scrap, but Sherwood out there doing his Sherwood things, and I love it.
So that's kind of the deadline. we'll kind of move into the week that was in terms of the on ice production now.
I think they just played one game in
They played
Minnesota.
3 since we did our last podcast.
Just the one game in Minnesota.
You want to take the Anaheim one away? That was like better than Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a tough week last week. They lost. They won 1-for-4, I think, and that one was a game where they blew a 2-0 lead and won it in overtime. So the fourth one that they lost was the one in Seattle. That was really rough. They actually played quite decent, I thought, in the first period or two, but ended up losing 6-3. There were like 3 or 4 tipped in goals, which Lankinen had no chance on. Then they took 3 days off, practiced, recouped, played a really solid game, and we saw Pettersson's maybe his best game of the year, one of, against the Ducks. And I messaged Andy about how much I was enjoying watching Pettersson's game again, and then I followed up with, I will never learn. But then Pettersson, I thought, again, looked pretty good in Minnesota. Not his best game, but we see the one-timer come out. He had...
was that good to see?
Oh, man. So against the Ducks, he had 20 faceoff wins, which was a career high for him. He played 20 minutes. He had 5 shots, 3 of them on net.
I think I read the 20 faceoff wins was tied for the NHL lead this season as well. Or is that...
Okay, it might be. So there was a bit of confusion there. So it was apparently just him and Sidney Crosby, but I think that might have come from John Shorthouse. And then last night on the broadcast, he said, I was actually wrong on that stat. There's actually 16 players that have hit 20. So I'm not sure where that stat is at. It's
that's still really, really good.
Extremely good. And I mean, it's a career high for Pettersson. He's never hit 20 before. So that in it alone, that's the best he's ever done in his career. But yeah, had a really good game. He had like 5 hits as well in that game. And then again in Minnesota, he did 2 or 3 slap shots, including a one-timer that he scored on the power play. That was, it was very tasty.
Yeah. That was so good to see all of that. And was getting rewarded with more ice time too. Like, I think he played over 20 minutes versus the Ducks. And I think it's been a while since that's been the case. So exactly. I like that talk. It's kind of doing the carrot and the stick sort of thing. You get rewarded for play. Really, really good to see. I think the face-off thing has always been not one of Petey's strongest suits. And I think it's something that, you know, when his offense is kind of drying up, if he could really develop another aspect of his game to just kind of have some confidence in, might do wonders as well.
Yeah. I forgot to load it into here, but Pettersson actually had a interview with the media prior to the Ducks game in which he just kind of aired out a lot of the stuff that he's denied for a long time and said, yeah, like, to be honest, I haven't been great. I haven't been shooting the puck. I need to be better. And I thought it was the best interview he's ever done. He walked back the media thing. He said, I was angry after the, I think it was the Ducks game where he missed a breakaway opportunity completely. And he said, I said something I didn't mean. I said that that the media is the biggest problem. And he's like, I mean, you guys are a little bit, and laughed, and everyone laughed. But he said, that's not what is keeping me from playing well. It's on me to be playing better, and I'm going to be. And they asked him about like his shot, and he said, I've always been a pass first player, but I know I need to trust my shot, and I think I just need to do that a bit more. And that night he had 5 shots, 3 on net, scored the next game. Like, it's great to see. Yeah.
Fans were chanting his name
twice last night. Yeah. Which is just, the vibes again have changed so drastically. Despite the angry day that we had, the angry week we had, it was, that was good to see. So yeah. And we had talk about the game and his interaction with EP40 actually last night when things were a little turbulent.
Well, Rick, just the performance for the group tonight and the resiliency maybe in the third period when they were pushing to find a way to get the goal and close it out?
Yeah, there's parts of the game I really liked, and there's some parts obviously. I think they made a push, and I think we needed to settle down a bit. And there was a couple of shifts in a row that I thought we were just got a little antsy. I think so. We got to work on that sort of stuff. But there's pockets of the game that we like. We still got to work on some stuff. But yeah,
was there something you said to that effect in the TV timeout? Because it felt like coming out of that last commercial break was when you guys sort of started to push back against that after being hemmed in prior to.
Well, yeah, no, I got mad at a couple of lines, and actually Petey was funny because I gave him crap, and then we talked after the game. He goes, sometimes I need that. So he actually had a good shift. So I don't like doing it very often, but those things happen in the game, and it was good because we needed to push from a couple of lines to get us back straight. And that's what happens. That's a good team over there. Anytime you play an NHL hockey team, they're NHL players. They're going to make pushes. So you just got to handle them the best way you can. I thought for the most part, we were pretty good.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. I think EP40 doesn't always react really well to kind of getting called out the way Tog's suggesting he did there. But I think a change in Pettersson's mentality would go so far to just changing the pressure that he feels, let him play a little bit looser, not just dwell on the negative things that are happening quite so much, because it seems like he really gets in his own head. And I don't think it's a coincidence that as soon as he starts joking around with the media and taking a bit of responsibility for what's happened and just kind of making a little bit lighter of the situation, having a bit of fun with it, I don't think it's a coincidence that he then starts to loosen up and start performing better on the ice. So I'm hoping that this is a turnaround. I don't have a lot of optimism, as J-Dawg knows.
We've been very hurt. I understand.
yeah. But we're seeing some good signs, and hopefully this just continues from here. What's your takeaway?
Completely agree. Yeah, basically that. We've heard a lot about Pettersson being potentially uncoachable, being a guy that is very aloof and wanting to be lone wolf. And
heard that with the Sedins recently.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and this has just been a drastic change. I don't know what changed. It feels like someone got through to him, or he had a come to Jesus moment or something. I don't know what it is, but something's changed, and I'm hoping it can continue. Again, we've seen some change short term throughout the season, and it hasn't lasted. So I'm hoping this continues. It does feel a little bit different, but we'll see. I mean, we heard Brock Besser saying it's good to see Pettersson shooting again. That should help him get momentum and get back to where he was. I think that should give him the boost he needs. So
yeah, I think
guys are even talking about it.
Sorry?
The guys are even talking about it in the room.
Oh,
so.
Yeah. And we had a talk quote about Petey shooting the puck in that post game as well.
Exactly.
He shot the puck.
He shot the puck.
Ben, what you've been talking about, he moved his feet. Did he shoot and move his feet enough tonight?
Yeah, no, I think it's something that, it's going to be habitual, right? It's got to be reps he's got to do it all the time, because when he does, he's got a great shot, and like I said, we've talked about it. When he shoots it, I mean, if it gets blocked, it gets blocked. I can live with that. So I think he knows. The power play, I thought there's a couple times he could have ripped it. Him and Phil were playing pass. I wish one of them would have smashed it, but we'll work on that.
Yeah, we all feel that way.
I love talking for how relatable he is.
Truly.
He's the same as us. Yeah, Tocchet's taken a lot of heat for not playing an offensive focused game, for having a very low event, low shot style of game. And I think in a sense he's right. But the messaging for so long now has been, we just need to get shots to the net. Just go to the dirty areas, put a shot to the net, get the rebound. Just get shots through. Don't have them blocked. Or if you have them blocked, rip it so it hurts. I don't know. I understand that it's under his regime that this is happening. But the things he's saying are very much to shoot the puck. So I don't understand why he'd be taking the, like, I think it's on the players to shoot the puck. Like, Tocchet can't shoot for them.
It's unlikely
So
he's going into the room and saying the opposite of what he's saying to the media.
every single night. Exactly. Yeah. So anyway,
Go to the middle, shoot the puck. All right, guys. I know I said go to the middle and shoot the puck, but what we're gonna do is stay to the outside and just hold on to it. Okay, everybody's on board. Excellent.
I think he would have lost the team a long time ago if he was doing that.
I think so. I think guys like to score. I think guys are fighting for contracts, and they know that there's a direct relationship between their production and the money they're going to get, and that would lose a room fast.
Exactly. So anyway, it was
Very
good to hear. We have Elias Pettersson. There was a lot of good interviews last night, so we got a few of them lined up here. But we have EP40 talking about the game and the fans last night.
Yeah, complete. I think we, starting with myself in the second period, trying to make too many soft plays. They got some momentum, and I think a little bit in the third too, but we stuck with it and got the win.
How about for you to score a goal like that and hear the roar from the crowd? What did that mean to you, and how much does that help you
No,
as
it
you try
means
to find your game?
No, it means a lot. It's the love from the fans. Really, never take it for granted, and I like the chance.
Yeah, it's good that he's noticing that, and hopefully that inspires him to keep going. I like that he recognizes a bit of soft play in his game. Right.
Totally.
That bit of self-awareness, I think, will go a long ways as well.
And I've often complained to the people around me about how Pettersson doesn't seem to appreciate the fans and the support he has. He seems to just focus on how bad the media is and how everyone's against him. We got a lot of people cheering for you, my guy. Like, just try and everyone will be on board. So anyway, it was really good to hear him talk about the fans and how he takes them for granted and that sort of thing. So, and then at the end, he gets asked about Kevin Lankinen, and he's like, "Oh man, like, yeah, I take him for granted because it's just every night he's saving our butts basically." But he makes unreal saves constantly and makes so many of them.
Lankinen last night.
It was incredible. Yeah,
so good.
So anyway, just lots of good vibes, and obviously that's a lot more prevalent after a win than after a loss. But these are the kinds of things we've been wanting to hear, and it was good to hear them last night. One interesting thing Tocchet got into last night was the relationship between Hronek and Elias Pettersson. The young he calls him Junior now. He calls him Junior Pettersson.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting comment. I would like to play that for you.
Yeah, talk it on Hronek and Junior.
Bill Hronek, another great pass again, 2 assists tonight. What do you like about him kind of stepping into that number one defenseman role? What's he been doing so well over the past little bit, especially with Quinn out of the lineup?
Well, I like his leadership. He's playing with Junior there, Pettersson. I think that's a big thing. He's taking him under his wing. That's my favorite thing when veteran players take a young guy. They spend time together. They're on the bench. They're talking. That's invaluable stuff for the development of a young player like him. So I got to give Phil a lot of credit for that.
Pretty cool to hear.
Yep.
Hronek took a lot of heat in the exit interviews after the playoffs last year for how snappy he was at the media members, and he just seems so grumpy and so ornery. And I think it made everyone question, like, what is this guy actually like in the dressing room? Like, is he this angsty and like just like someone peed in his cereal in the morning? Like, what is wrong with this guy? But to hear stuff like this, where he takes the young gun under his wing and they're talking and he's really like helping him along. And it seemed, I could see Elias Pettersson really having a similar game to Hronek in terms of being defensively stable, having some offensive input, and also being a physical body. Like, that's a nice pairing, and it's really cool to hear that Hronek has taken that on, and I think it'll help Hronek as well feel more of a place. A lot of people seem to thrive like as playing the teacher role, a little bit more accountability even maybe, and that sort of thing. So anyway, great
Yeah.
to hear.
It's kind of funny, even in my professional life, I love that aspect of it too, when you can kind of help shape the new generation of whatever your job is. I think that's really rewarding for the person doing the mentoring. And I think on Junior's side, I love a willingness to just absorb and learn from the people that came before you, because Hronik does a lot of things right. And there's an awful lot you can learn from a guy like Hronik. And yeah, when Hughes comes back, you're not going to be playing the same kind of role as you are right now. So take advantage of it in every conceivable way that you can to grow, because it's going to benefit you and it's going to benefit the team. He's already such a found money great surprise for the team that anything he does that just betters himself is just such a bonus.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, it'll be interesting what the lineups look like when Quinn returns. Obviously, Susie's gone now, so that was them clearing a spot for Elias Pettersson, who I think is blown them out of the water with his performance
Yeah.
in these games.
I mean, we saw Mancini yesterday, I think it was.
Yep.
I imagine that we won't see him once Hughes is back, but I think you have to keep room now for Junior.
Yeah.
I think we have
Mancini,
something.
I also thought had a really good game. I thought Mancini had a really good game last night. He's not. I think there's a little bit of like some rookie mistakes feathered in there, but there was a play in the defensive zone where he was battling net front with a player, looks down and sees the puck like about to go in. So he scoops it with his foot, sends it out and puts the wild player on his butt. Like it was beautiful. It was something I would have expected to see from like Hronik or one of the veteran guys, and it's Mancini, and it was a perfectly played and executed play. And he's like 21, 22, something like that. So anyway, really excited to see what could end up being there, and great to have him. Like that's the kind of depth piece you want. You don't really want like Ian Cole, like that's fine, but I'd rather have the young guy having those experiences and having a future of that rather than an old guy who's on the way out who can kind of help out once in a while, but isn't really going to grow very much.
Yeah. You need at least a couple of those more veteran guys who can take on the leadership mentoring role, but you have that in Hronik. Hughes will do that.
Tyler Myers,
Marcus Pettersson, Tyler Myers, I hear, is phenomenal in that regard. So they've got a good mix that way. I think we have Coach Tockett a little bit more on the defense and the offense of late.
Credit.
They obviously had some strong stretches. They outshoot your team pretty significantly. But does it feel good to know that the only goal they got was on a power play that maybe shouldn't have happened and on a broken stick where just a lot had to go wrong for them to even get a goal?
Yeah, I think we've been playing pretty good defense the last 6 weeks. We've been pretty well, I think. But obviously we got to start scoring some goals. But there's a stretch. I liked our start, but we had about 4 or 5 minutes. We had we missed the net. Like there's shots there where we got to hit the net. We have to have shot selection where your shot, even if a low one, will be a rebound. Somebody can be there to put the rebound. We're sometimes we're just trying to hit a pee hole and we're missing the net. We just got to. That's the one thing, frustration. We got to hit the net and some wide open shots. Then you'll start to see some go in for us.
I love on a 2-on-1 or an odd man rush. If the goalie's in good position, just low and hard off the far pad, there's nothing that goaltender can do but kick that puck out.
Yep.
And it's gonna go to the guy on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens, he's got a wide open net. Like so many goals get scored that way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why guys don't do them more often.
And on the power play as well. Like you've got an extra guy to retrieve a rebound. Put it on net. Like don't shoot for top shelf. Shoot for the pads. I mean, I don't have like the greatest shot in the world. So when I'm playing floor hockey, I'm shooting just as hard and kind of like a foot or two off the ground, and I score so many that way, just because it's either going to be a rebound or it's going to sift through, because it's hard for a goalie to get in that area just above the pad and just below the blocker. It's a tough save to make.
I tell my son all the time, 18 inches stick side. Right?
Yes,
like,
exactly. So anyway, love to hear it again. So I want to keep this going. Definitely feeling much better in general about this team today than I was yesterday at between 1 and 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it felt a little dark for your old pal Andy too. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but we'll see. Like, and I mean, this is what we got. This is what we have to work with. So, I mean, as a Canucks fan, okay, like I don't love the decision, but I'm going to cheer for them to go as far as we can now. The vibe seemed great. I'm loving what I'm hearing out of the dressing room. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest thing. Like, I don't want to love the management and hate the dressing room. That's what we've been dealing with the last 4 months. And that was not fun. I would be a lot more okay with being frustrated with some of our decisions, but actually loving the result in the dressing room and that sort of thing. So, yeah. Okay. Dog of the week. What have you got, Andy?
Oh, you're going to let me have the honors here?
You bet.
Oh. Okay. So I've mentioned previously, my son and I are going down for for the San Jose game in April, and we've been talking about, we need to get like a souvenir jersey or something when we go down to commemorate his first NHL game in person. And we keep talking about, oh, well, what jersey would we get? And his answer for quite a while now has been the guy who's going to be my dog of the week for this week. And that's Connor Garland. Again.
Oh, okay.
I admire so much an undersized guy like Garland, who plays as doggedly and determined as he does, night in and night out.
Yeah,
And
I get that.
in the Anaheim game, I mean, Zegras was just a pest all game with the stick work, the cross checks, the greasy stuff. And it was Connor Garland who decided that enough was enough. And I loved that they went back and forth a bit. Zegras kind of stumbles to the ice. Garland drops his gloves and gives him the let's go.
Oh, it was so good.
Oh. Yes. Look into my veins. And then proceeded to more or less feed Zegras his lunch. It was glorious. It was glorious. So Connor Garland gets my dog of the week.
Love it. And there was the Sherwood fight last night in Minnesota. Well, fight.
Yeah.
They drop the gloves, they size each other up, and then Sherwood just tackles them. And J-Pad on Twitter is like, and I forget, who was he fighting? I can't remember who it was.
Oh man.
But anyway, it was like insert name. He's like, X player gets tackled for a 10-yard loss. To be 2nd and 15.
Yeah. It was great.
Oh man. My dog of the week has to go to the most improved player this week. It is going to be Elias Pettersson. It is going to be EP40. I thought he was one of the hardest skating Canucks this week in the 2 games they played. He scored a goal. There's been not many of those. I thought he's been the best player on that line. And obviously there's a lot of pressure on him right now leading into the trade deadline. He could have been really all over the place in his head with possibly getting traded right before the deadline. Instead, he had some of the best games he's had all year, followed up, or like, I guess, preceded with the interview with the media that was phenomenal, and walked back and explained some of the stuff he said before. So anyway, I've been hard on him, but he gets my dog of the week this week, EP40.
And I actually really did consider it for all of the reasons that you just mentioned. I wanted to really recognize Garland in that, because Pettersson's going to get kind of a dual honor here.
Yeah.
right? Well, I'll let you do the honors. You gave him the dog of the week, so I'll let you do the honors for what comes next.
I mean, so we have to choose dog of the week. And I think it should go to Connor Garland. Because we ultimately choose one dog of the week, correct?
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
I was getting ahead of myself.
I think we'll go to Connor Garland. He is actually like the representation of what we mean by dog of the week. Like he truly is a dog game in and game out and has been all season. So I love that. And he's been getting some goals lately as well. It's been all around it. So
too.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So anyway, love that for Connor Garland. In the doghouse now, I'm going to say that Elias Pettersson, EP40, makes his way out of the doghouse this week. I think he has done it. He has
redecorated. He was in there a while.
He built that house.
He repainted. He put in new flooring.
He was there from when they were putting in like the footings.
Yeah.
They were putting down the foundation and he was already on it.
Yes. But I think, I mean, a dog of the week vote from J-Dawg is reason enough to leave the doghouse, but even if he didn't quite make a dog of the week finalist, he was clearly good enough to make his way out. So congratulations, Elias Pettersson, the first person to ever make it out of the Dogs on Skates doghouse.
Love it. Who will be heading into the doghouse?
Because it cannot sit unoccupied.
No, it cannot.
Unless, as we stated, we are just on fire with a win streak. So, I don't feel like there's a ton of really obvious options on the ice.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we go further off the ice, the options start getting a little better. I think there is some uncertainty around who is calling the shots regarding the overall direction the team is taking and what sort of moves should be made in the short term to go there. What I view as a disappointing deadline, it can be entirely on Patrick Alvin and Jim Rutherford, in which case they would be in the doghouse for me. But I've been following this team long enough to have a pretty good suspicion that somebody else is ultimately calling the shots and dictating that the priority above anything else is to make the playoffs, not to rebuild or retool for future years. I think that continues to hamper the team to this day. So, for me, my vote for the next resident of the doghouse is Francesco Aquilini.
That is correct. That is the correct answer. Yes.
Just sell the team, man.
Yeah.
Just sell it. Just sell it.
Okay. So Frankie, you're in the doghouse now. I don't know if you're ever going to come back out.
You can't play your way out. You can't play your way out. He can play his way out.
We might need to build a new house. That might just be Frankie's house now.
He's gonna need like Derek Forbert to score like 5 goals on his own net or something in the same game that we lose 5-4.
Oh man,
like that. I don't know what it would take.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Maybe we have to put a term limit on doghouse resident, at least for non-players, because it might just get.
I'm going to say for non-players, we put it like 1 week or 2 weeks. What do you think?
Yeah.
Should we just do 1 week?
Even just a 1 week. It'll probably only ever happen at the trade deadline, free agency, or maybe just signing a ridiculous deal. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
true.
Yeah, we'll limit it to a week. You're welcome, Aquilini.
Yeah. Okay. And lastly, before we head to the dog park, I wanted to bring in a feel-good story. It's been a lot of feelings going on this week, so I figured I would just bring in a feel-good story. So there's been lots of drama around the Mikko Rantanen stuff. The Mikko Rantanen trade to Carolina was huge, and that was a few weeks ago. Then was he going to stay and all that kind of stuff? Anyway, he ultimately gets moved to the Dallas Stars yesterday. Now, when he got moved to Carolina, I recently found out Jack Roslovic of the Carolina Hurricanes was wearing number 96. Well, Mikko Rantanen also wears number 96. So, Mikko Rantanen wanted to keep that number so bad that he offered Jack Roslovic a Rolex watch and some other goodies. I don't know what they are. For the number 96 on the Carolina Hurricanes. Well, Mikko Rantanen only played for 14 games. So Jack Roslovic is now back at number 96, and he has a Rolex and whatever the other goodies were. And he only had to give it up for 14 games. So that is a very good trade. I think that is the trade of trade deadline. That is incredible. Jack is, a player that's made decent money, but he's never been a top player in the league. So the Rolex is, that's decent. That's pretty nice. So yeah, I thought that was a good little story.
I like that. It's such a touchy subject, hey? Picking a number when you're going to another team. Mark Messier, you suck. But anyway,
yeah.
Wait, can I put Messier in the doghouse?
Oh man, we've built a jail for him already. He's not allowed to arrive. Oh man. All right.
Good
so
stuff.
I think that wraps up the week in review. We are off to the dog park. All right, welcome to the dog park, the segment where we just kind of have fun with all kinds of different fun games and segments. And today we're going to be starting with another Would You Rather. This went very well last time, so figured let's run it back again. Would you rather number 1? Would you rather get EP40 back at his prime for the rest of his career, or get Demko back healthy and at his prime for the rest of his career?
I love Demko, but I think this is a slam dunk EP40.
Okay.
I think the difference between Demko at his prime and what a guy like Kevin Lankinen can give you most of the time, I think that gap is narrower than a prime EP40 versus what another guy you could reasonably obtain could give you. Prime EP40 is a game breaker.
That's fair.
There's a reason he got an $11.6 million contract. There's a reason he was considered, at least at one point, one of the maybe top 5 guys in the league. Like, he was legit. So,
and like by prime Demko, I'm meaning bubble Demko.
Yeah.
Like the guy that took them 3 rounds through, very nearly beat Vegas.
But that was a very narrow window of time. Like, I'm thinking prime Demko is like you take his best year and you say that's what you're getting. So you'll get spurts of that incredible steal every game Demko, but overall it's just going to be really, really, really good goaltending.
Right. That's fair.
Same thing with
good.
With
I think
EP40, right? He'll go on a streak and he'll score 10 goals in 10 games, but he's not going to do that all year.
Yeah. And I think, like what you said, the biggest difference in it is it's easier to get a goaltender that gets hot for you than it is to get a centerman that gets 100 points for you. Again, I would bring this up. Aiden Hill won the Stanley Cup like 2 years ago.
Thompson,
okay.
Binnington. I mean, these weren't Vezina guys, but
yeah. All right. Well, that was a bit of softball to start us off. Number 2, would you rather look really fit but actually be out of shape, or look out of shape but actually be really fit? So practicality versus appearance.
Oh man.
So you can go and you can like play in like sports or whatever. You can go for you could probably live a lot longer being in good shape or being fit, but you don't look fit, and you can't go to the beach with a beach bod.
And when you say that I am really fit, but I look out of shape, what is my level of like mobility? Like, could I still play sports? Could I still, you know, I don't know, run up a flight of stairs if I need to, or chase my kid around? Like, am I functionally fit or I'm just like,
think of it like you're fit, but you look out of shape, as if you put in like those fake like belly, like the fake fat guy outfit. So you're actually fit, and you can actually do all the things, but you do have the excess.
You are encumbered by that.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, I think I would have to take that. I would take
Which
being
one?
really fit but looking out of shape, because I'm not really out there trying to impress anybody at this point. But being really fit, feeling good, being healthy would be worthwhile.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right decision
For a couple of married guys like us.
Yeah.
If I were much younger and looking
If I'm
for something,
22, single, and have a trip for Hawaii booked or LA or something, then maybe that answer's a little different.
Yeah.
But then it's also embarrassing. You're like, you look absolutely like ready to run a marathon, but then you try and play a sport and you're just gassed in like 30 seconds and have to go sit down, take a puffer or something.
Take a breather on the way to the beach volleyball court. What?
Exactly. Try to like open your water bottle like that guy at the baseball game, and he can't open it.
It's got his shirt over the
Oh man.
Oh yeah. That was great. I wish we had that video right now. Yeah.
So good. All right. Would you rather, number 3? Would you rather shower with liquid soap / shampoo that consists of 50% soap and 50% sand, or shower with a shower head that only allows for 25% water pressure?
I mean, it's got to be the sand. I think it's got to be the
Really?
sand. Yeah.
You're gonna like rub your skin raw with.
No, you got to be gentle. You got to be, and I like a vigorous scrub, so sand might be okay.
Okay, what if we change it to like 90% sand, 10% soap?
Well, I don't think that would really run through the top of the squeeze bottle at that point.
75, 25. What's the limit here?
I honestly, I don't know that there is. Low water pressure is, if we did a draft of like just the most infuriating things that you can possibly imagine, that might make my top 5. Like, I despise low water pressure. It's just so bad. I don't even know that I'm really thinking about the sand. I am just thinking so much about the low water pressure, and it's making me so angry.
Oh man, the water pressure we have here and at the last place I was at, it was so strong that you turn it on, and every guest we'd have over, they'd turn on the faucet and they'd get a shower, whether they wanted it or not. They were just it would hit the sink and it would just be everywhere. So I don't know if that's your kind of water pressure.
That's what I want the fight to be restraining it. It's too powerful. We got to restrain it. That's what I want the challenge to be, not to get more water pressure. Yeah.
Every time you go to fill up a glass, you turn it on and it just goes in the glass and right back out again.
Pretty much.
You got nothing in there.
You just got to put it like half in the stream, like at a bit of an angle. Yeah.
And then it's just spray. Yeah. No matter what, there's water going everywhere.
I'll take that over low pressure any day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the sand would wash out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in there when you're lathering or whatever. But then you wash it out with your nice high water pressure. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
What about if it's like honey and it's not washing away? So in order to wash away what you're trying to wash away, it's taking 4 or 5 minutes just for one spot.
Oh man. Yeah, that's tougher. Oh, 25. Do you know how low 25% water pressure is? That's not like, oh, this is pretty low water pressure. That's like, where's my water?
But either way, you're spending like 20 minutes in the shower. Which way would you prefer?
Oh, I would immediately apologize to everybody who has to work near me because the frequency of my showers is going way down in either scenario. It's like we're now accepting a certain level of aroma, if you will.
Oh, I'm really glad I moved to a different office. I think I'd still go like the honey, whatever that substance is way, just because at least I'm gonna stay warm. And there's gonna be enough water that I'm gonna actually just stay warm. And I do enjoy a longer shower, so I wouldn't mind it as much. But
I guess that's a good point. Like we don't have on-demand hot water here, so I would absolutely run out of hot water.
Oh shoot! Oh boy, that's a caveat and a half.
Oh.
What's it going to be? Your sanity for the rest of your life depends on it. What is it going to be?
I've heard that cold exposure is actually incredibly healthy.
I did it for 3 months.
It's supposed to be wonderful. I've tried it. I can't quite bring myself to do it. Perhaps having no alternative would be good for me.
I would recommend have this happen during the summer, not during the winter.
Fair.
It really sucks in the winter.
Yeah.
Okay, which way are you going?
If we're talking like a honey-like substance that just takes forever to wash off, and I got to deal with that all the time.
With the cold water, it's gonna be extra long for it to get washed off because the cold takes it takes extra long.
Okay.
Oh man.
Okay. Just then limit your frequent showers to the most critical areas. And
it's only going to be washing once a month, and the rest of it is just rinses.
Yeah, quick rinses. Could I like shower at a gym? We have a shower at the office. Could I just like shower there instead?
I mean, you're still using the same. Oh, I see. No, I think you have to shower at home.
Well, I guess in that case, I'm taking the. I guess in all instances, I guess the takeaway is that I'm choosing to keep my water pressure, and I'll just deal with whatever the other situation is.
Okay. All right. I think I'm in the same boat.
Oh, that was uncomfortable. Right. I feel dirty now.
It was too easy for the first two. We had to bring it a little hard, but all right. Off to I believe you got a segment lined up.
I do. We are bringing back Top Dog.
Oh boy.
This time for J-Dawg because I enjoyed it so much last time. This is
Me too. I'm really glad it was mutual.
This is where I get to choose a random draft year and pick 3 players from that draft, and J-Dawg has to tell me in what order said players were drafted. Now, he has to get the right order, the right name in the right position. Yeah, you get it. We've done this before. We can just jump right into this. So, let's see. Oh, those are my draft picks. I'll save those for later. All right, Top Dog. We are going first to the 2014 draft.
Okay, it's in my range of watching drafts. That's good.
I did try to keep this more recent. I really thought of punishing
Nice.
you and going to like the 1983 draft or something.
I just
that's what I felt like I was dealing with. But no, these should be all names that you recognize. I'm pretty sure they're all still playing. So
all
you
right.
should be all right. 2014 draft. Your choices are current Canuck Marcus Pettersson, former Canuck Danton Heinen, and general pain in our butt Warren Fogle.
Who? I'm gonna go Warren Fogle 1, Danton Heinen 2, and what's the third player?
Marcus Pettersson.
Marcus Pettersson 3.
Incorrect.
It's fun being on that side.
So fun. Love this. Marcus Pettersson is first. He went second round, 38th to Anaheim. Warren Fogle was next in the third round, 67th overall to Carolina. And Danton Heinen, fourth round, 116th to Boston.
Okay. Wow.
Big old 0
for 3.
I am so happy right now. Next up, we have 3 guys that we are very familiar with for different reasons. From the 2010 draft, we just had a run-in with Radko Gudas.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about Brock Nelson.
Yep.
And Charlie Coyle.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go Charlie Coyle 1, Radko Gudas 2, and the other guy was, who'd you say?
Brock Nelson.
Brock Nelson 3.
You got 1.
Okay.
Charlie Coyle is first.
Yeah.
First round, 28th overall to San Jose. You scared me when you got the first one right, because then it's like it's a coin flip, right? So you're going 3 for 3, and I would have hated that. Brock Nelson, also in the first round, 2 picks later to the Islanders at 30th overall, and then Radko Gudas in the third round, 66th to Tampa Bay.
Oh, Tampa. Interesting.
1 for 3. It could have been worse. All right, we're going to go recent now. 2020. Okay.
Oh, I hate that draft. That was the COVID draft. Man. Dang it. Okay.
Your 3 players are J.J. Peterka, Dawson Mercer, and current Canuck-ish Nils Oman.
Oh, man. Peterka, Oman, and who was the other guy?
Mercer. Dawson Mercer.
Well, Buffalo always picks very early. So I'm going to go Peterka 1. I think you're going to try and trick me, though, with the Nils Oman. Or are you doing the inverse?
How many reverse psychologies is Andy up to here?
And I know that you would do that too. That's very much in your arsenal. Dang it. Okay, I'm going to follow my gut. I'm going to do Peterka 1, Mercer 2, Amon 3.
You got 1 right.
Okay. All right, we're staying alive.
That draft was Dawson Mercer, first round, 18th overall to the Devils. Then J.J. Peterka, second round, 34th to Buffalo. And then Nils Oman, 6th round, 167th to Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah, I had no idea. 2012 draft. Current Canuck-ish, Phil DiGiuseppe. Former Canuck, Tanner Pearson. and Jake McCabe.
Oh man, these are so obscure. Oh man,
Come on, I'm giving you
so
current and former Canucks. That
Jake McCabe, Tanner Pearson, and who is the other guy?
Phil DiGiuseppe.
Oh, PDG. I'm gonna go PDG, McCabe, Pearson.
That is incorrect.
Ah. So 2 for 4, 2 for
2 for 12.
12.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Welcome to my
Oh.
world. It is filled with pain.
What was your ratio?
Oh, I will have to. I'll put it in the edit when
Okay.
I do the edit.
We'll have to see. Keep the.
It was not. The ratio was probably very similar. I got a few more right because I think you made me do 7
That's
sets because you're a jerk. He could have ended my misery at any point, but he kept it going. Andy's merciful and is going to wrap this up after 4. But just to wrap up this last one, Tanner Pearson, first round, 30th overall to the Kings. Phil DiGiuseppe, second round, 38th to Carolina. And Jake McCabe, second round, 44th to Buffalo.
Okay. All right. That was fun.
That
I enjoyed
made
it.
me very happy.
Enjoy the torture.
All right. I think you've got the next dog park segment there.
Yes. So we are heading to this or that. This will be a segment where something similar to if you ever been to the eye doctor and you go 1 or 2, 2 or 3, 2 or 3, and you just kind of keep going back and forth and seeing which one you like better between the two options. Well, we're going to be doing that today between mascots, and not just hockey mascots of sports around North America.
Okay.
Andy, do you see the options there? The first starter option?
No, where am I supposed to be looking?
You can go to the Andy Don't Look tab in our show doc.
Exciting. Yes, I see a number of them here.
All right. So we're going to start with Philly Fanatic from the Philadelphia Phillies Major League Baseball team. So that's number 1. And we got Benny the Bull from the Chicago Bulls, number 2. What do you like, 1 or 2?
Now, are we doing this jointly or am I doing...
This is for you, my guy.
This is for me. The Philly Fanatic.
I mean, I guess we could do it together. What do you think?
I mean, we could try. See how it goes. We'll just take turns having vetoes if need be.
Sounds good. What have you got for the first one?
Philly Fanatic, all the way. One of the greatest mascots in sports. Might be a deep run for the Fanatic.
I like it. Yeah, I'm with you. So then we got Philly Fanatic and Dinger from the Colorado Rockies.
What is that, a Triceratops?
I guess so. I'm not sure.
I don't even know what that is. It's
stick with Philly Fanatic, I think. Yeah. Philly Fanatic or Gritty from the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay, I think Gritty owes a lot to the Philly Fanatic. I do.
Yeah. So who you got?
I think Gritty is great, but I'm sticking with the OG Philly Fanatic.
Okay. Philly Fanatic or Puddles from the University of Oregon Ducks.
I mean, that's just a duck. The Fanatic stays.
Okay, this is going to be a solid competition. Philly Fanatic or King Cake Baby from
what?
New Orleans Pelicans.
That's not real. That is not real.
It is real.
That is
their mascot.
No, I'm Googling this. I'm like, that can't be.
It is in fact real. It is King Cake Baby, and it is demonic. It looks like Chucky with a diaper on.
Okay,
and
but
about 12
I
feet
think
tall.
Pierre the Pelican is like the primary mascot.
I don't know, and honestly don't really care. I think King Cake Baby is a mascot.
Oh, no.
I didn't say it's to be the primary
Oh
mascot.
no, King
But
Cake
King
Baby.
Cake Baby.
Oh, that is nightmare fuel.
It is terrifying.
Why do I kind of love it? What is wrong with me?
Oh, I showed my wife last night. She's like, no. The person that made that has serious mental health issues.
Oh, I think my kids would love that. I'm gonna have to show them. I don't know. King Cake. It's hard. I can't even bring myself to say it. I don't know what King Cake Baby's like shtick is, but
Me neither.
Yeah, just for the shock factor alone, I think I gotta go King Cake Baby.
Sounds good. All right, King Cake Baby or Youpie of the Montreal Canadiens.
I mean, Youpie's just kind of an inoffensive Barney.
Gritty.
Like just covered in tiny hairs.
So we're going with the baby then?
King Cake Baby. Yep.
Okay. King Cake Baby or Ramses from North Carolina Tar Heels. I love the creativity of the name Ramses.
Ramses. Yes. The name is good. The mascot is bad. That thing would just stand there. It's King Cake Baby.
No,
you know King Cake Baby gets into some shenanigans.
So what we're seeing here is an actual ram that has like blue horns and that sort of thing.
Depending on
my
my motivation and commitment, I may or may not be adding these photos. We'll see.
Yeah. The actual photo is actually a mascot, like a lot of the normal mascots with a ram and horns and that sort of thing. But I enjoyed this photo, so I put this one up.
That's fair. Either way, Cake Baby, King Cake Baby.
Okay, sounds good. King Cake Baby or Jackson DeVille of the Jacksonville Jaguars, my favorite.
Jackson DeVille. Wow. Buddy's wearing like pajama shorts. What is that? Oh
man. I don't think I have another. There's some good photos.
That's not great. I know you love the Jags, but that's not great. Is that thing even a Jaguar? Looks like a bear, man.
It looked like a cat that got peed on.
Oh, jeez. No, that thing isn't winning anything. Oh wow.
Man. All right. And lastly, King Cake Baby or Finn the Whale of the Vancouver Canucks. I'll make you decide that one.
Oh, I love Finn. I think it's a good mascot for the Canucks. I really do. But it's not King Cake Baby.
All right, we have our king, King Cake Baby.
Pre-crowned. It was destiny.
Oh man,
my goodness,
that was great. It was a good run for Philly Fanatic, but I couldn't compete with King Cake Baby.
I really do think, were it not for King Cake Baby, that's a clean sweep for the Philly Fanatic.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
Yeah.
But there
was some stiff competition.
A surprise challenger.
Oh.
Wow.
I bet you didn't see that coming.
What is in the water in New Orleans, man?
Lots of funky things.
Yeah.
Mardi Gras happens there. Lots of funky things.
Yeah.
All right. That wraps up the dog park, and we are off to the draft. All right, for the draft, we are going to be drafting the greatest things before sliced bread. And we're going to be looking off to Andy here to see who has the first pick.
Got the old trusty Dogs on Skates coin. Andy for the second time in a row. Let's go.
He definitely made a new coin. It's Andy double-sided for sure.
Oh, I'll never admit it. Okay. Now this one's interesting. I don't have a strong opinion about the order of my picks, actually.
I'm very similar.
Okay. So I am just going to take one that, if I were a betting man, I'd say might be on J-Dawg's list as well. So I'm going to do it just to screw with him a little bit. And I'm going to take with the first overall pick, the game of hockey.
Yeah, I figured that was going.
So I did a little bit of research, and we just had the 150th anniversary of the first recorded indoor ice hockey game. It was March 3rd,
neat.
1875, at the Victoria Skating Rink in Montreal.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
deceiving.
I got excited too. Now, there's actually a rumor that the actual first games of hockey might have been played in England and the rules established there.
I think I've heard that as well. Yeah.
So here's my proposition to England. I will fight you for it. or better yet, this is even better. How about we play them for it?
Hey, there we go. Wait, like us?
No. Team Canada versus Team England. Heck,
I like it.
I'll give them all the UK. You can have all the UK versus Canada. Now, that would be a fun career capstone for Crosby, hey? Mr. International Play goes and brings the actual idea of hockey officially to Canada.
Oh, that'd be amazing. And we still wouldn't name it our country's official game.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
So, hockey, first overall.
I like it. I'm glad you drafted it because you had a lot more prepped for it than I did. So, well done. I am going with something that is near and dear to my heart, something that I interact with multiple times a day and have since I was very young. I will be drafting toilet paper for my first overall pick.
Okay. I mean, we didn't establish, but I think we're going with the idea of sliced bread being, I think it was 1928.
I believe so.
I think I Googled that before we got started. But...
I think this is the one that I forgot to check the invented year. 1857. Oh. Woo! By Joseph Gaetti.
Nicely done, Joseph. Another J-Dawg.
According to Wikipedia, he is widely credited with being the inventor of modern commercially available toilet paper in the United States.
Good man.
Yeah, it was available as late as the 1920s. So I'm good either way. I'm just fit it in there.
Solid choice.
It says his Gaetti's medicated paper was sold in packages of flat sheets watermarked with the inventor's name. So they were wiping their butts with his name. I guess so. I don't know what that means.
I would have had the name of my nemesis on there.
I know. I don't know if he really thought that through, but all right.
Fair enough. Toilet paper. Good shout.
Yeah. Okay. And I have to combo that with a nice high five with indoor plumbing as my secondary choice. I am comfy. Now, I love camping. I love pretty roughing and camping, but I really like having a flush toilet and toilet paper. And that was where my thought went right away. And
When you took toilet paper, I'm like, how does he skip indoor plumbing and go to toilet paper? Oh,
because I had the first two picks back to back. So the floor is yours, Andy.
Oh, I wanted indoor plumbing. That's all right. Okay. I'm going to go with something that kind of stemmed from last week's draft. I'm going to go with pants.
You're not interested in using your room.
No. If I'm strapping on my rollerblades and ripping around a concourse, I want And really, just
Well
think about
done.
it. The next
It was-
time you're out in public or you go back into the office, just think about it. Nobody had pants. Yeah, that's right. Thanks,
It
pants.
wasn't even on my list. Well done. It wasn't even on my list.
Oh, I got pants. Okay.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
All right, you're up again.
Oh, I'm so torn. I'm so torn. Okay. I'm going to go with a formerly living meme for the meme with Betty White.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Born January 7th, 1922. I mean, she was in everything for decades. And really, Betty White's the answer. And I don't think it even matters what the question is. I think she's like the female Chuck Norris, right?
That's fair. That's fair.
I got a couple here. Let's try them out. When Betty White jumps in the pool, she doesn't get wet. The water gets Betty White. Ghosts sit around the campfire and tell Betty White stories. No. Betty White got bit by a snake. After 2 days of excruciating pain, the snake died? No. All right. So the whole Chuck Norris thing doesn't work. But Betty White was pretty cool. I love that as she got older, it's like she was just chill. She just enjoyed life, had fun, went on SNL, didn't take herself seriously. I just love that.
That's a really good pick.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of people. I really couldn't think of anyone that would fit that properly or that hasn't had some form of thing go against them that makes it so it's not a good pick anymore.
It's so hard. It's so hard. Like, you can't have a role model anymore. They're just going to disappoint you.
Yeah. We know too much about them.
Yeah. I'm sure at some
good
point,
pick. Well done.
Yeah, we'll learn something about Betty White and this will age poorly. But for now, Betty White.
So good picks. Excellent picks.
Thank you.
But some major oversights. You don't have toilet paper. You don't have indoor plumbing. And now you don't have electricity. So good luck trying to watch hockey. I'm taking electricity with my third pick.
Live hockey.
Okay.
Yeah.
You better find a second job. Unless you're going to the Pee Wee scrimmage games. Okay. Yeah, so I'm taking electricity with my third pick. And this is tough. With my fourth pick, I got to be going with the automobile. There was some pretty nice automobiles in the 1920s. So I'm going to be taking the automobile.
Well, and I think choosing automobile gives you the automobile at large, which includes current automobiles, which is pretty great.
Correct. Yeah.
Although you're in Victoria, so do you even have an automobile?
Drive around. Yeah. You don't drive anywhere. You just drive around.
It's all bike paths and
might need to take a boat.
Maybe
next.
rickshaws. I don't even know. They're weird. It's the island.
There's lots of Tesla trucks I'm seeing.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so bad. They're so bad.
Terrible. I saw two on a lot the other day, like on a car lot for sale.
It's like low water pressure Cybertruck. Man. Guy who designed that thing, no water pressure. Guy's just miserable all the time. Oh, okay. Is it back to me?
It is back to you.
Okay. I thought a lot about another segment from last week.
Oh boy.
And I gotta go with forks. I don't know.
You're playing all the hits
the
today.
Greatest hits. I'm running it all back. But really, I got to thinking about what life would be like without a fork. And so for the longest time, people just eat with their hands. And that's okay. There's lots of foods that I enjoy eating with my hands, but I really don't like getting my hands like dirty and like foodstuffs, and I really do value the fork. So, yeah, I don't know who, when, where, why fork came about, but I appreciate it, and I'm taking forks.
Nice. Well done.
Then I have one pick left.
You do.
And this one I'm gonna nerd out a little bit. I won't say what I was thinking about picking because you might still pick it. I'm actually going to take the telescope.
Oh, phew. Okay.
You were worried, huh?
I was worried.
So, yeah, gonna nerd out a little bit. I don't get a sense of awe and wonder about many things. I'm a little bitter and jaded sometimes, but
especially last night.
Yeah, rightfully so. But I've had telescopes in the past, or even looking at pictures that other people have taken with telescopes. It just it puts a sense of scale and perspective on things that is really difficult to get. When you think that you can look through something and see a planet that's just inconceivably far away, but you can still see details on that planet. Like the first person who looked through a telescope and saw the rings of Saturn, or the red eye on Jupiter, like, how do you even process that? Like, it's just wild stuff to me. I could geek out about space and stars and planets and stuff for forever. Could probably start a whole new podcast just talking about that. But I think it's wicked cool. So I'm going with the telescope.
Nice. I like it.
There are more important things, of course.
That's an Andy pick.
That's an Andy
well
pick.
done.
Yeah.
That's an Andy pick. Well, I've stayed very literal, so I might as well just keep that train rolling. And I'm not taking trains. I've already taken automobiles. Planes is on my list, but I'm not going to take it. I'm going to go with the electric refrigerator.
Oh.
It's, again, done lots of camping. Okay. It's a major pain not having a refrigerator, and I always appreciate it a ton when I return home. And so it came quickly to mind that the electric refrigerator would be very difficult to live without. Much less convenient.
Yeah.
So.
And being big fans of food, both of us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that ends the draft. Do you have any honorable mentions that didn't make it?
Oh, for sure. I had some really obvious ones, like, penicillin, insulin, Western medicine generally.
That's
fire.
Complete oversight on my part.
I thought fire was a pretty good one. Pretty important.
I mean,
the wheel.
Then you can just go like water, air.
Yeah. I didn't find this one very easy to have, a lot of fun with. There were a lot of great inventions, a lot of things to be appreciative for. Yeah.
That's fair.
How about you?
I had planes, Coca-Cola, potato chips, which were made by accident, beer, which I looked up the year for that. It was like 3500 BC.
You're like, I'm good. Even indoor plumbing. I tried to get a read on when that was like officially invented, and it's really not clear. It depends on what your definition of indoor plumbing is.
Downton Abbey had it, so I'm good.
Wow. That's official enough. Downton Abbey.
And baseball.
Ah, yes.
Close out the draft.
Nice.
Okay, so that is that. And we are off to our final segment, Tuesday Chooseday. All right. So last week for Tuesday Chooseday, there were 10 games, and we're going to go through those now and see how we did. So you have the list up of the teams we chose for each game?
I do.
All right. So we'll start with the Hurricanes, the Red Wings.
Yes.
The Hurricanes won 2-1 over to Detroit. Who did we choose?
We both chose the Hurricanes.
All right. So that is one apiece, I guess. We'll just count up at the end, maybe.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Next, we have the Lightning and the Blue Jackets. The Lightning handily took care of the Blue Jackets 6-2, much to my chagrin.
J-Dawg recalls that we had a difference of opinion on this game. I took the Lightning, he took the Blue Jackets. Believe that puts Andy up 2-1.
Indeed it does. Next we have Sharks Sabres. San Jose, again, handily 6-2 over Buffalo.
Much
Andy,
to J-Dawg's chagrin.
Again.
Andy had the Sharks, J-Dawg the Sabres. I believe that's 3-1 for Andy.
Oh, man. Bruins, Predators. The Predators with maybe a little bit of surprise win there. 6-3 over Boston. Lots of 6-goal games this week or that day.
Yeah, we had both taken the Bruins in that one.
Womp womp. Next we have the Flames Flyers. The Flames took care of the Flyers 6-3 as well. It's a lot of 6-goal games.
And we both took the Flames.
Ayo. So that's 4-2, I think, now.
Indeed.
Jets Islanders. The Islanders actually squeak out the upset win over the Jets 3-2.
Surprising. We both chose the Jets. Seemed like maybe the safest pick of the bunch.
I thought so. Yeah. Devils Stars. The Stars sneak out the win there 4-3. I believe that was like a very last second goal by the Stars to win that game in regulation.
Yeah, J-Dawg was pretty confident in the Stars there. I had the Devils, so it was close, but J-Dawg reclaims a point, 4-3.
And a tough hit for the Devils this week as they lose Jack Hughes for the remainder of the season. That was
brutal.
A tough blow for them. Okay. Ducks, Oilers, and let's go. The Anaheim Mighty Ducks took care of the Edmonton Oilers 6-2 and keep the Oilers in the dumps.
This just serves me right. Why would I ever choose the Oilers for anything?
I was wondering the same thing.
What an idiot. 4-4, J-Dawg with the comeback.
Let's go. All right, Penguins, Avalanche. Avalanche take care of the Penguins 4-1.
That one was maybe even more predictable than the Jets. We both did have the Avalanche.
Nice. And we have Minnesota and the Kraken. Minnesota taking care of the Kraken 4-3.
And J-Dawg did have the Wild to complete the comeback and take the first Tuesday Chooseday 6-5.
Here we go.
Interesting though, where the games that we didn't agree on, for the most part, were pretty close.
It's true. Yeah. I might need my King Cake Baby mascot as we cruise on this charge of taking over the rest of the league. Tuesday Chooseday.
So I think J-Dawg and I talked about a little bit off air, and we're just going to keep a running total of our records. So J-Dawg's sitting at 6 of 10. I'm sitting at a monkey with a dart score of 5 of 10. Yeah, and then at the end of the regular season, we'll just see who has the better record, and we'll work out a small prize for the winner and maybe a little consequence for the loser.
Sounds good. Okay, so the first game we have for the upcoming docket is Blue Jackets Devils. What have you got there?
I think the Devils are reeling. I think the Blue Jackets have some good vibes. I am going with Columbus.
I am also going to go with Columbus.
Okay.
Next, we have Panthers Bruins. Oh, that's wild. I didn't realize that.
No, that is going to be great.
Man.
I think.
So,
go ahead.
I don't know if Brad Marchand's going to be back from injury yet because he's injured right now. I'm really, really hoping he is.
You know, if there's
that's
any
fantastic
chance that he'll play.
Oh, so good. Oh, and it's in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Panthers all the way.
Yep. How about Senators and Flyers at Philadelphia?
Who you got?
I'm going to go with the Sens.
Yeah, I'm also with you on the Senators there.
I've never had an original thought.
All right, and it's not gonna
Nope.
stop. I don't think.
Nope.
Here we
But
go. Vegas Penguins.
I'll let you have the thought first this time.
VGK.
Yeah, it's obviously got to be the Golden Knights.
Lightning Hurricanes.
That should be a good
now
game.
Here is a matchup.
Yeah. I don't know if the Hurricanes are going to have their draft picks in the lineup yet.
The Hurricanes?
Yeah.
I'm going to think not.
Yeah. Yeah. Those future draft picks. They're good, but I don't think they're quite game ready yet. So I'm going to go Lightning.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's okay. You can copy me.
I'm gonna go Hurricanes. Ooh. Let's go Canes, baby.
All right.
The Lightning have been doing a lot of winning lately, and I think you can't win every game, so I'm going to bet on the loss there.
Fair enough. How about Rangers and Jets? Who do you like there?
I like the Jets.
Yeah, I do too.
Avalanche Wild. Who you got there?
I am going to perhaps bank on J-Dawg taking the Wild, and I'm going to take the Avs.
I think that's the smart pick, but I'm going to go with my heart, and I'm going to go the Wild there.
Perfect.
We got Capitals, Ducks, last place, first place teams,
no.
Top of and bottom of pile.
This could be an interesting one, I think.
Yes, it sure could.
Those plucky Ducks. Well, I picked first on the Avs Wild, so why don't you go ahead here?
Okay, I'm going to go... I'm going to go Ducks here.
I am so tempted to go Ducks, but I think I just really, really want to see the Ducks lose again after the Canucks game. So I'll take the Caps here.
Yep, that's fair.
Canadians, Canucks.
Yeah, who you got?
I am going to take the hopefully positive vibe Canucks to keep rolling a little bit here.
I also really like that matchup. I'm also going to go Canucks there.
Okay.
Predators, Sharks.
I think this is one that's probably going to be close and could go either way, but I'm going to... Well, I went first last time, I think.
I'm going to go Sharks all the way.
Yeah.
I'm taking good vibes.
I am too.
Okay. And lastly, we have Islanders, Kings. Very interesting game.
Yes. What did the Islanders get back in the Nelson deal?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
They got like futures, lots of futures, I think. Let me just check.
Right. The Kings didn't change a whole bunch. I mean, they brought in Kuzmenko.
That's their only move they brought in, yeah. The Islanders brought in a first, a third, and Callum Ritchie, a prospect.
Right. Okay. I am going Kings.
And I am going Islanders.
Okay. We've got a good number of differences there, so.
Indeed.
Perfect.
All right. Well, I think that wraps up everything for episode 5 of Dogs on Skates. Do you have any final thoughts before we go, Andy?
No, had fun with this one. And yeah, as always, let us know any questions, comments, suggestions in the comment section.
Definitely like, subscribe. We have just released the trade deadline recap, going over every trade quickly that happened, or all the moves that happened, going team by team, so you can be up on the know of everything that happened in the trade deadline this year. And then we do a little bit of grading as well. So hope you give that a watch. But until next time, peace.
Peace.